Everybody okay in the back? All right. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Very happy for our seniors to be able to come out on senior day and get a win. Exciting time and sad time before the game when you got to go see them and talk to them there. That's like one of the last 2 times we'll ever walk in that stadium. And, it's a rejoicing time, a lot of memories, but, sad too because they love being here and I love having them. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to our team. We won the game. Like I said, we haven't won it. That's a 6-game losing streak, and no matter what you get, any win's a great win, and it's a really good win. I thought our defense was outstanding in the game. I thought they did a great job of controlling field position, leveraging the ball. They had one drive down there, and actually we got a hand on that field goal that got through. We kept them in field position. Our special teams did a real good job. When they did it, then we got the punts. We were catching those short punts and getting them, not letting them hit the ground and roll. Moose did a great job at that. Had a couple of nice returns, and then offensively, we didn't move it. We kept them back, but the 3 turnovers is critical. 2 drives we didn't finish in the first drive. We had field goals on, then we didn't. We had 3 turnovers, moving the ball very well, and had big plays, and we're moving it nice. And conditions, no matter what, you got to hold on the football, and that's a disappointing thing on it. But thought Connor did a really nice job in the game. Did a great job with his legs, making decisions, making plays early in the game. When the field position back, you can see he's athletic and can run. Was accurate with the ball. Made good throws, and it's tough. Early, the balls were really wet, and then we got them dried up a little bit and did a better job. And I thought we didn't throw it as much in the second half, but I thought he managed the game, did things really well for the game. I thought he made some really good decisions. Thought he had Moose on a touchdown down there but I guess you can bear hug him. I guess so that's legal now. So, and what we did, but hey. Should have scored some more points. Didn't want to turn it over. Need to get the running game going a little bit earlier. But defense was outstanding. Special teams was. And offense, we did the things we had to do, and the guys won the game. Questions?
Brent, then Travis.
Well, you moved.
Just wanted to ask you a little bit more on Connor running and that added dimension, and he really kind of kicked it into an extra gear.
I've said that Connor's a really good athlete. He really is. You don't say he's 4'5", but he's really athletic. You play shortstop and things he did, and as a baseball player he is, and decisions and what he can do in the game, and boots, naked, sprint. When you're in the pocket and then throwing the football. He can do all those things, and thought he did a really nice job in the game, making good decisions on that, getting what he could, getting down, and dinking and dunking the ball when he was on the edges. Thought he played really well, and made a heck of a throw there at the end. That was a heck of a throw at the end. Touch pass. You can see the kind of talent he has in his hands.
Down front, Travis, and then Olin.
What were some of the struggles in the running game with the running backs early, and what kind of changed to flip on the switch?
Well, they put 8, 9. That's what Don does. Don puts 9 guys in the box. We wanted to keep pounding it until we get some play actions. That's what I played him. It's what he did at Michigan. It's what he did at Boston College. What he did at Maryland. It's what he did everywhere. Don, he has. They put 3, 5, and 9 on one side to put the other safety down. You play action, they roll them out, and they put it down in there. And we knew it was going to be early. It always goes like that against any time I've ever played. Michigan. The only time we ever jumped on them hard one time was in the Orange Bowl at Michigan. We had some good runs early, and then you keep pounding away at it. But they're known. That's what their defense is. That tries to make you throw the football. And the conditions early, we wanted to throw it a little bit more, but until we got the balls dry and him comfortable in the game, throwing it down the field as much as we could, and then the scrambles came in. But that's what Don does. That's their defense is designed like that.
Second row on the left, Olin, and then Christie.
Coach, you said that any win's a good win. Why, for a program that aspires to win the SEC West, would you be proud of a win over a lackluster team?
Because it's on your schedule, and your kids played their hearts out, and they played tough, and they played really well. They did the things they had to do to win the game. And any win you have is a win, and I'm proud of our kids for doing it.
Does it bother you or concern you at all that probably your fan base is going to be more discouraged by that than maybe some of the losses?
Listen, I'm discouraged. No, not discouraged. Nobody's discouraged. Hey, that's where we're at right now. We win a game and move on.
Right side, Christie.
I know you're focused on what's happening on the field, but did you notice how thin the crowd got in the second half? And do you think the season's getting to the fan base?
No. I'm sure they're not. We're all disappointed, not where we want to be, but they'll be packed out in here next week, I think, for the things that go on, and we play LSU. I'm sure they'll be here.
Down front left, Zach.
Jimbo, the decision not to have Evan play today, was that just precautionary, or is he still in a protocol of some sort? Or?
Yeah, it's. I don't want to get into the detail, but hopefully he'll be okay.
Okay. How about Max Wright?
Max, I don't know. We'll see day to day, or we have to judge that again. However they feel it in there, same thing.
Okay.
Down front to the right, Cole.
Jimbo Devon was warming up during the process. Was the weather a factor into him not playing?
Well, it had nothing to do with the weather. He got back and he was trying to practice Thursday and it just didn't feel quite right and come out there today. He said he wanted to try it again to see what it felt like pre-game and it didn't. There was no sense to press that. I mean, he's pushing to get back, trying to get back, and hopefully he'll get back this week.
And then no Devon and no Evan, but instead Noah Thomas and Le'Veon Moss step up as freshmen. Just what have you seen from their maturity, especially
Really
when it comes
good.
to the
You can see Le'Veon's explosive, man. He's going to be a really good player. Noah made good plays, and I thought Amari Daniels ran the football very well. Those young guys are going to be really good players. Proud of those guys.
Coach, back behind the lights, Daryl, on your left.
Coach, besides picking up the win, what do you think your team picks up from this ball game that they carry into the LSU game next week?
They won the game and get back on the winning track, feeling that, going out there playing hard, playing in different conditions of what goes on. Anytime you play, you learn. Whatever happens, you get to share with your teammates. You got to share in that stadium. You got to play well, and you always do. You understand how to win. You won again, feel that feeling again, and go right back to practice.
Stay back behind the lights to the right, Ben.
Coach, what were some of the things y'all were considering into that first half, the way that sequence played out, kicking it a little early, 14 seconds?
Well, we lost it. We had to call timeout right there. So there wasn't no sense to take a chance. You're backed up in the wet conditions, and you're going to get 10-yard. And if you get, it's going to be, 6 to 8 seconds on a play, then go up and clock the ball. We're in a good situation there. Unfortunately, we didn't want to take the timeout, when the ball slipped out of his hand. Hopefully, we'd had another shot there and then thrown the ball and got down there. But it was in a 47-yard field goal. That's plenty in his range. And if you get caught short, you don't even get to kick off. And the next play has got to be at least 10 yards or get out of bounds. So there wasn't no chance to risk it right there. I didn't want to risk it with no timeouts left.
And then just from an offensive standpoint, I'm sure you guys, obviously trying to find your rhythm. Is it frustrating?
Turnovers.
Well,
We get turnovers, and then we didn't. And then second half, missed a couple third downs.
Was it frustrating at all having to, not having far from ideal conditions? And
Well,
when you're trying
that's
to
football.
Get
That's what makes football so special. You never know what they are. I mean, rain. You look at some teams across the country; they're playing in 2 foot of snow right now. I mean, guys are playing in rain. Guys are playing. That's what makes football so different than so many other sports. We don't cancel games. You play in them when you go.
Anything else? All right, Cole, you'll wrap us up, and then we'll get the players.
Jimbo, just based off your time throughout coaching, what have you noticed after a long losing streak that a win can do for a program's morale?
Just remind you what it feels like. Remind you what it feels like. Remind you what it is, and that things aren't that far away. They're not that. Everything goes back and forth based on how you practice and what you do on that day, but it still feels good to go do that. That's what you're there for. That's the ultimate goal.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We have Layden Robinson on the stage who would like to get us started with questions for Layden. We'll go front row on the left side to Zach and then Mark.
Layden, what was UMass doing early on that made it so hard to run against, and how did you guys adjust as the game went along?
They was just doing stuff that we expected them to do, that we practiced hard with Coach Adazion and his plan and telling us what we were doing. We just wasn't getting movement on them in the first half. We were playing too lateral and not getting on the field, and we fixed that in the second half.
We'll go third row on the left to Mark.
Layden, how frustrating was it not to be able to put these guys away until pretty late?
It's always a little frustrating in the beginning part, because you know what you have to do, and we just seen drives that we just gave up and we didn't finish in the red zone area, and we just had to figure out, all right, how do we finish those drives? And that is frustrating. We're going to figure out why we didn't finish those drives in film, and we're going to get that right going into this next week against LSU. And the second half is that's what we were supposed to be doing in the first half.
We'll go front row on the right to Cole.
Layden, Jimbo says a win's a win, but for you internally as a team, how does it feel to get the monkey off your back of a 6-game losing streak?
It's always good to get a win. You don't take those for granted because they're hard to come by, especially in this league. So it's a blessing to get a win. We just didn't get the win the way we wanted to get the win. So we just got to figure that out.
And then when you have young players like Noah Thomas and Le'Veon Moss, potentially the future of this team, especially when you have veterans like Devon and then Evan, who's been a factor missing the game, how important is it for them to get as many reps as possible for next season?
It's very important so they could get that confidence up. I know when I was a young guy in their shoes, I wanted to play to make sure to let myself know and my peers know that I'm able to play in this league and sustain in this league, and I could be a factor for the team, So I think that's very important for them, and they did their job today, and they did great.
We'll go back behind the lights to Daryl on the left side.
Layden, can you talk about the turnovers and just how disappointing that part of it is, and how that, kind of stymied your offense and being able to put up the points that you felt like you needed to today?
The turnovers are always hard because we turned the ball over down in the red zone, and that's some of the worst places you can't turn over the balls. You don't want to have turnovers, period, but especially in that area when you're about to score, because that takes the momentum down. But we still capitalized and won the game after all of those turnovers and all those bad drives that happened. So what a surprise, and what we could have done if we just didn't turn the ball over and if we did finish those drives in the red zone.
We'll go third row on the right to Christy.
You guys normally have such great crowds here. Was it disappointing to the players to see how thin the crowd got, especially in the second half?
No, not really, especially for the weather and the environment and stuff like that. So it wasn't, some of the stuff like that is expected, but we really don't pay attention too much in the crowd. We have to play the game, no matter if there's 0 people in the stadium, there's 1,000 people in the stadium, if the stadium is fully packed. We have to do our job and we have to play. That's not a factor in our play at all.
We'll go back to Daryl behind the lights on the left side.
Layden, can you kind of talk about, I guess, what it's going to be like for this week? I know that you're going to close out the season against LSU, but just the excitement of being able to take on LSU and come for a night game at Kyle next Saturday.
It's always exciting to play a top opponent like LSU. They're a great team, and they're coming in here in our home stadium, and they're trying to beat on us. So our job is to just do what we do best, is just come out here and fight to the very end, and just have that sense of pride. We always play. Obviously, we play with everybody, and that's what we have to continue to do. And you never know. We'll probably pull it out and win this thing if we just do our job and just stick to our fundamentals and do what we came here to do.
We'll go front row on the right to Cole.
Layden, everyone has their own thought process of going into certain games after you break a losing streak. For you personally, do you view it as one more shot, or do you view it as a straight 0-0 record with an opportunity to finish the year 1-0?
I just look at it as another opportunity. Just another opportunity to go out there and do something great with your teammates. Unfortunately, this is the last go round for this team, but you can't focus on stuff like that. All you gotta do is just go out there and play the game that you love and the game that God has blessed you to play and play at this great university.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Layden.
Thank you all. Have a blessed night.
We'll start third row on the left with Mark.
Edge, it was a 7-point game at halftime. They ran the ball pretty well the first 30 minutes. What got said at halftime that turned you guys around?
Just making the simple adjustments, and just getting the guys together at locker room. Like we need to finish tackling more and just executing the game plan. They found a little way to exceed our defense, so we had to just make little adjustments to fix that.
We'll go back behind the lights on the left side to Daryl and then Travis.
I guess first off, just the confidence I guess it gives you guys to be able to hold them just to a field goal and keep them out of the end zone today.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I guess the confidence that today's game, by keeping them out of the end zone, you just held them to a field goal. What's that give you guys today?
Oh no, that's a big part of our defense. Like if we feel like a team ends up like in a situation getting the red zone, like holding them to a field goal, like that's a big accomplishment for us. And it gives us a big boost. And the next series, we want to even just not even let a field goal happen. It just makes us compete with each other and execute.
And then if I could follow up just how big it was for you guys to pick up a win today and being able to walk off Kyle Field with a kind of a smile on your face.
Oh, it finally feels good. Slowly creeping off the dark hole or whatever. But it's a start. Just start from right now. We take what we get and just move forward from now on.
We'll go front row on the right to Travis.
Adrian, I know you said it finally feels good. What is the last 6 weeks felt like and leading up to this to make it feel that good?
I mean, it's been miserable, but we just didn't let that affect us. We just wanted to find out what it was. Just keep grinding it out, and today, it finally paid off.
And when you look around and see kind of so many new faces because of injuries and whatnot, how surprised are you at how many guys are out and the guys that have had to step up in their place?
To be honest, I'm really not surprised, but we have ball players all over. It's just the fact of us coming together, playing as one, and just doing what we need to do.
We'll go back behind the lights on the right side to Ben and then Daryl.
Hey, Adrian, do you remember kind of what the message was for you guys when they had that drive, I believe, where they got the field goal, where, into the red zone, they kind of got some big chunk plays and y'all were able to lock it down?
Yeah, Durkin, he just got on to us, hey, we gotta step it up another notch. We gotta keep going. Gotta step it up to another level, and just like the main thing with us is we just want to execute, just tackle, just do what he tells us to do, and just go from there.
We'll stay behind the lights and go to the left side to Daryl.
Edgar, can you talk about, I guess, maybe the positiveness that this gives you guys going into the LSU game next week?
No, it gives us a positive perspective. Now next week, like we really want it. Like we're going to come with a big different mindset. Just ready to go forward and make something happen.
We'll go front row on the right side to Cole.
Edrin, after a losing streak, people usually try to come up with a scenario of what's the next thing. Do they look at it as another opportunity to win or just starting the record fresh, 0-0? How do you view it?
Oh, we 0-0. Everything's in the past is in the past, and Santucci, he even lets linebackers know, hey, you don't control what you can control, and now just moving forward, that's a good thing about football. You got another week to be able to prove what you need to prove.
And then while the season's not over and that you won't be going to a bowl game, you do have an opportunity to ruin LSU's chance of potentially being in the conversation for the playoff. Just do you enjoy the fact to know that you can play that spoiler role?
Oh, that's a big thing that we're looking forward to. We looking forward to make a stamp and make this happen.
We'll stay with Cole on the right
and
side.
For you as a native of Louisiana, does it mean it just a little bit more to potentially ruin LSU season?
I mean, hey, I'm here with my teammates and ready to rock out.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.